Hi everyone, my name is Chris, for those of you who don't know me, and I will be your captain for this flight. This very unusual semester that we have with this blended learning thing that's happening. I don't really know what to make of it, but I can imagine you guys are all freaking out. Third year, your last year, it's overwhelming and mind-blowing. I don't even know what to say to try and comfort you guys, but hopefully we'll get through this together. I have started this live stream just a little bit early so that I can, get my stuff together and make sure that everything is right. But I don't see that anyone's watching yet. When I see that someone's watching, then I will I'll start the lecture. But in the meantime, I just wanted to introduce myself. I am your lecturer, Chris Martin, and for those of you who don't know, I lecture in Durban. Now, this over here is the live chat. I'm going to say, hi everybody. And if you're watching, I can see someone's watching out there. Yay! Hello. What I'd like to do to try and keep a register of everyone who's taking part, I'd like to just ask you guys, when you come on to our lectures, just say, hi, I'm here. Whoever you are, put your name out there, and that it would be great just to know who's watching and who's participating. I've got 3 campuses to lecture, my Durban group, which is tiny, but then I've also got you guys in Santon and also you guys in Arcadia. So, and I don't know any of you really. It would be nice to, over time get to know who you are. And we can talk during this lecture time. What is it, Wednesday, 2:00? During this lecture time, we can talk about media planning. You can ask questions in the comments box, and I think it'll work out. I've done a couple of lectures so far with my journal groups. And yesterday was disastrous. The bloody thing kept on dropping the feed. But, the Monday's one was great. And, for a Luddite, I have a certain amount of faith in this medium. I hope it's going to work. But, again, my number I'm putting in the bottom here is that 0842458018, and you must WhatsApp me, send me a WhatsApp and ask me to add you to the group. Okay, so the format is this: every week, once a week, we're gonna gather together. You guys will need to go onto Cole Campus and access all of the documents that you need for the section that we're going to be doing for the week. Then you will need to do all of that before you come to the lecture. So then you are equipped to deal with the discussion and participate in the discussion, ask your questions if you don't understand something. So make notes while you're going through the content. Make notes, highlights in your books, or write somewhere all of the things that are giving you trouble, what you don't understand, and then we can go through it in this time and you can ask. I think it's very important to ask questions, and my Durban third years know already there's no such thing as a stupid question in my class. There is only a valid question for someone who is sincerely seeking the answer. So don't feel like you're being an idiot if you ask something that you think is stupid, because maybe somebody else has the same question and they don't know, and they don't have the guts to ask. So asking questions is very, very important. Like I said, if you are watching, and I can see there's 2 of you watching there, please will you put your name into the chat just to say, who you are and that you're watching, and then we can carry on. And you can email me as well. Hold on, let me just put this in. Christam, CHRISTAM, at boston.co.za. That is my email address. If you have questions and you don't want to use WhatsApp, you can email me as well, and you can also email me for your submission reviews. Before you submit, you can send me a script, and I can look at it and see where you're going wrong or right. So, as I said, you'll get the content of Cole Campus. I will also put the content after the lecture. I'll put all of the content and the link to the lecture on the WhatsApp group. Okay? And what else? I'm just trying to think of everything that I need to tell you. So it'll be all available in 2 places, Cole Campus and also the WhatsApp group. So we know Cole Campus is a little bit slow to load, and sometimes people find it confusing. So that's what we'll do. Before the lecture, you need to go onto Cole Campus to access the content. But after the lecture, I will put everything up there. Also, every week, at the end of the week, just to consolidate your learning, it would be a good idea to do the quizzes. It's literally 10 multiple choice questions. All you have to do is pick the right one and go on to the next until you're done. And it'll give you an idea of where you're at in terms of understanding the content. It's not for marks, but it is a good indication. It helps you to test yourself. And it won't take that long. I mean, multiple choice. How long can you take for 10 questions? Like 3-4 minutes? So, just spend the time and do it, because it's really worth it. So, media planning is a 3rd-year subject. The people who are required to take it, it's a peripheral subject. The people who are required to take it are those people who studied or are specializing in advertising, marketing, and public relations. The reason why we do this is because media planning is its own special field, but it kind of overlaps with advertising and marketing and PR and finance and media as well. So it's sort of the intersection between those different types of disciplines. And you can make a fair amount of money watching or being a media planner. You have to be pretty savvy, and you have to know what's out there, and, well, we'll go into it. But basically, it's an interesting subject. So, without any further ado, how's it? Okay, so Zanele, I don't want to conduct classes on Zoom because that's like one extra program that everybody has to get. And also, I'm not a fan of China. Zoom belongs to China, and I'm not even going to go into that further. But I don't want China on my machine. So it's bad enough having Big Brother YouTube. But it seems like most people have got YouTube already. You guys all use YouTube videos and stuff. So it seems like the simplest way. Also, all of the features are here. So... and it's more secure. There's less chance of being hacked on YouTube than there is on Zoom. So, there is that. But also, like I said, the features are useful because, you can make a channel and I can download all the videos that I make for you guys. Like the live stream videos, I can download them and then re-upload them as videos so that they're there permanently, which is what I will be doing as well. So whoever's watching, I know Zanele Skala is here. Who else have we got? We've got 3 people so far, which is very exciting. Hi, guys. First lecture, weird time. The thing about media planning is that it kind of evolved from marketing and advertising, because back in the old days, you used to have advertising and marketing campaigns where it was unidirectional. It was one direction. It was the advertising at the people and like just generally at the people. But with time and obviously with the fragmentation and yes, you've got your WhatsApp group. Okay, sorry. I'm not really used to talking without looking at anyone, so this is kind of weird for me. Yes, we are going to have a WhatsApp group. All you have to do is use that number, this number here. Okay, that's my number. So use that number and send me a WhatsApp and tell me which campus you're on, please. Tell me which campus you're on, and I'll add you to the WhatsApp group. So anyway, as I was saying, with the increasing globalization, firstly, of media and also of products and also of audiences, and also the increasing fragmentation of audiences, we find that we can't just put a message out there for women under 40 who are married, for a product. It's not as simple as that. Especially now, we've got more and more products to do the same thing. We've got more and more channels to advertise on. So you can't advertise everywhere all the time to everyone. You have to be more selective. And so media planning is really about developing a strategy with the budget that you've got. Remember that. Money is always, it's a key component of media planning, which you'll find out. But yeah, it's about using that client's money, and remember, it's always the client's money, it's not your money, to create a strategy, a media strategy, by which to connect with certain groups of audiences. Okay, so we'll go into that next lecture a little bit more. We'll look at segmentation, market segmentation. But okay, because this is the introductory lecture, I know I'm jumping around a little bit, but I'm trying to remember everything that I need to tell you. Let me just pull up this document here quickly. Where am I? Here. Okay, so your textbook is called The Nuts and Bolts of Media Planning. It's published by Amasa, and if you don't have it, you need to find a way to get it. Okay, go to the campus and go and get your textbook. That's very important. I'm fairly certain that the new edition, it's slightly different, but if you've got the old one, the white one, it should be fine. The new one is, what color is it? Sort of like a bluish, dark bluish color. So make sure that you've got that textbook, because you're going to need to do readings from there. There's also exercises from there. In the lesson plan that I have created for you for each week, let me just show you here, drag it over and show you. This is pretty much how it's structured. Okay, we've got our introduction and the lesson outcomes. Okay, so this is basically to give you an idea of what you should be aiming for being able to do by the end of the week. Okay, preparation. You need to always do preparation before this time that we're on the live stream on a Wednesday. So for this lecture, you need to read, and I'm not going to say now you can't participate if you haven't done all of the stuff. That's not how I am. But it's better to do the preparation before the lecture so that, if you've got questions, then you can ask them. You're prepared. You understand what we're talking about more than if you had only done it afterwards. So yeah, in every lecture, I've given you preparation reading. I've also given you a few videos to watch because these are useful videos. They won't waste your time. And I've tried to keep all of them pretty short. So all of them under 10 minutes, most of them under 5 minutes. And then exercises. So exercise 1 and 2 on page 13 of the textbook, you need to complete for your own edification to make sure that you understand. And of course, the quiz number 1 on Cole Campus. And then when we look at the discussion forum, that's when we meet in this lecture. Okay, and every week we've got a different topic, and this week's topic is contact, content, context. And okay, that's pretty much the lecture for this week. Okay, but that's the content that you need to cover, and we'll go through it in little baby sections. It's not too much for you. It's not too taxing, and the subject itself is pretty straightforward. So I don't see anyone having any particular problems. You just have to do the work each week. Now, as I was saying, with the fragmentation of platforms and the proliferation of products, and also the globalization and everyone being able to access media in a different way. Phones, smart TVs. I mean, that's insane. Whoever would have thought about that? On the internet, social media, and all of the different social media platforms. I mean, there's not just Twitter and YouTube. There's a whole bunch of them. So we look at that, and we look at then all of the different magazines and all of the different news sites, and it's not as simple as it used to be in the past. And so the advertising and marketing industry has gotten more complex. Media planning has gotten more complex. And so today we move away from, where was it? That quote. It was a pretty good quote. Today we move away from being, let's see.
I'm going to town now, bye.
Bye. It's my husband. Let's see. Yeah, we move away from being platform experts. I'm on the bottom of page 7 here. We move away from being platform experts and rather towards placing the consumer at the center of everything that we do. And that's actually, I think, the key change in the media planning industry as such. So now, I'm not going to do story time with you guys. You do need to go through all of this yourselves, but it's not a lot of content to go through. It's a few pages. The writing's fairly large, so don't stress about it too much. Who have we got watching? Put your name out there, please, in the comments, in the chat, in the live chat. If we can see who's there, that would be awesome. So now, contact, content, and context. Now, this is an interesting little diagram that we've got on page 12. If you are watching and you have your textbook in front of you, turn to page 12. You'll see a lovely little diagram with 3 circles intersecting. And the one says, hey, how's it? The one says contact, the one says context, and the one says content. Now, the exercises that you're going to do are looking specifically at this, because when you look at the intersection between these 3, you'll see how they make an effective media plan. So, let's just look at this here. What do we got? Okay, so you guys all know Nando's. Everyone knows Nando's, even overseas. Did you know, just as a side note, did you know that when England started considering leaving the European Union, and they called it Brexit, there were English people overseas who freaked out about Brexit and didn't want it to happen because they were scared that they weren't going to be able to get their Nando's anymore. Genuine. Promise. Funny world we live in. But anyway, we know that South Africa has Nando's. Nando's is South African. And their adverts are well known all over South Africa for being cheeky. You know, a little bit, a lot tongue-in-cheek, a little bit cheeky, and so let's look at some of these in terms of the 3 C's. Where's the most recent one? There's one that said sobering. Nando's adverts. Sobering. Okay. No, I can't see it there. Let's go back. That was gross. Okay, so let's look at something else. We don't... Firing up the USA, 1 export at a time. If feeding was a crime. 300... Okay. Let's look at... I'm trying to look for a really good one that you will all be able to look at here. We're good at punchlines, not punches. Okay. Of course, we know all about the recent highlights of gender-based violence. So, Nando's has taken that that content and used it in a way that people will relate to. We're good at punchlines, not punches. Now, we're not looking necessarily at only the message. We're looking at where it's been published. We're also looking at to whom it's been directed. Okay? What platforms have been used, as well as when. When was it? When did they publish this particular one? Now, all of that is very important. Those 3 coincide. When you have a perfect decision on all 3 of those C's, the contact, the content, and the context, then you have the perfect storm of good marketing strategy. So, let me just check if there are any questions. Hey, more people. Hello. Cool. Excellent. That makes me happy, you know. And to all those who are going to listen later because they have a clash or because they haven't been able to make it, we're still here. And if you have questions about the content, please make sure that you either send me a WhatsApp, ask in the group, ask directly, private message, or you can email. Everything is here. I've given you guys my WhatsApp phone number, and I've given you guys my email. Okay. So, let's look again at this advert. Okay. At Nando's, we're always about putting a smile on your face instead of a fist. So, for that, why not pop into our restaurants and enjoy our world-famous peri-peri chicken that packs a real tasty punch. Okay, we're good at punchlines, not punches. So, in terms of the 3 C's, let's look first at content. We've got the message. What is the message? The message is they're not, yes, they pack a punch, but they're not into gender-based violence. That's basically the message. They do not support gender-based violence. Okay, that's the play on words, and that's the reference. What it says on top is, we don't punch people, we just make them laugh. But what it says underneath is, we are good at supporting women empowerment, and we're not going to support gender-based violence. So the context of that comes at a time when we are focusing particularly on gender-based violence in homes under lockdown. That is, okay, wait. No, this is a 2018 ad, you can see here, 2018-05. So this is probably for Women's Month, when we usually resurrect this issue for public scrutiny. Could be, or maybe not, but one way or another, we have been looking at this issue for a good couple of years, 2-3 years, maybe even longer, in South Africa. And so this is, it's an important issue. Nando's has that ability to play on our local issues in their adverts, and I'm sure that you've all noticed that. So the context is very important. This kind of thing, as effective back in the 90s or in the early 2000s, not really, because we as a society were not focusing on GBV. We were focusing on the Rainbow Nation, we were focusing on Black economic empowerment, we were focusing on a whole bunch of other things. And early 2000s, that's when the corruption started to fall out. So, then we were all focusing on corruption. And Nando's, believe me, has made their fair share of adverts based on that context as well. So, oh yeah, you guys will remember this one. Okay, so if you guys don't remember this, then I don't know where you were in, and it was a thing. Jacob Zuma was our president, and he couldn't read the numbers properly, so that's why Nando's has gone 305,055 pages. So, and then they said, and this is where it's cheeky, because it is. They're almost like the bard, the jester, the court jester, poking fun at people. And because they're doing it through this kind of messaging with humor, they're pretty untouchable. I mean, no one can really do anything about it. But this is the context. This is 2016, and it was very effective, Looking at the platforms that they use, do you guys remember seeing buses, taxis, park benches, street pole adverts, rubbish bin, on the side of rubbish bins, mostly out of home? We're looking at that as a type of advertising medium or platform, but then also on TV and as JPEGs that you can pass around on the internet and share and comment on and stuff. Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, a lot of different online and also out of home. So billboards and, like we said, advertising at bus stops, street pole lamps, and that kind of thing. Everyone can see it. Everyone. And because the words, the font is so easy to read, you can read it quickly as you're walking past. You don't have to sit and puzzle it out. So it's effective, it's quick, it's a short message. And so if you look at it in terms of contact, what the platforms or activations are that are most suitable, the exposure, so the when, the context of when it was actually published, and the message, all of those three factors coincide to make a really, really good advertising strategy. So we're not just looking about the message. In media planning, the message is sort of secondary to where we are going to put it, what purpose we are looking for, what aims we're aiming to achieve, or outcomes we're aiming to achieve. Let me just check for more questions. Does anybody have a question about this? Like I said, it's really straightforward, guys. It's not rocket science. These lectures are, I'll try and make them as interesting as possible. All you have to do is do the work. So now we've gone through one of these exercises together, essentially, on this live stream. Now, exercise 1 that you are going to need to now go and do by yourselves is select a current advertising campaign that you believe succeeds in making a connection with the target market and unpack the 3 C's: contact, content, and context. Pay particular attention to the interaction of each element and how individually and collectively it contributes to the campaign's effectiveness. Now, we've just done this with Nando's. So you know how to do it. It's pretty straightforward. Pick another advertising campaign and do it for yourself. And then exercise 2, as a part of this process, try to identify what contribution could have been made by the media strategist or the media planner that may have assisted the creative agency in developing the necessary communication or activations. Now, in terms of Nando's, you need to look at the brief first of all, but if we can imagine what kind of contribution the media planner made in terms of these adverts and the media strategy that put them out there. The media planner has to look at, first of all, the brief and make sure that the media objectives are clear. Then, once they've established what communication is going out there, then they're going to look at the budget and they're going to look at the timeline. They're going to go, okay, we're looking to raise awareness for this issue. We're looking at raising awareness over this time or this holiday. Nando's does that as well. They've got their Valentine's Day ads. They've got their, Heritage Day, Women's Day, all of those things. So you have to look at the time. You also, as a media planner, you have to look at, who your target audience is. Then you have to consider, where are they most likely to see this advert? You have to back it all up with looking at data, audience data, and we'll check that out as well. Just checking for questions. So we'll cover all of this over time, but I want you to try and see for yourselves and your campaign that you've chosen to unpack. I want you guys to see whether you can tell what kind of contribution the media planner may have made to all of this. I'm going to go back. Oh, we've got 8 people now. Awesome. That makes me very happy. Welcome, welcome. Please put your name on the live chat, and just remember that if you have a question at any point about the content, you can write it down in the live chat and I will answer you. Because this is an introductory lecture, it's not going to be that long. Obviously, I'm going to keep it pretty short so that I give you a chance to cover all of the stuff that you need to cover now for lecture 1, and do all of that. And then also give you time and space to do the content for lecture 2, which you're going to need to do before this time next week. If my voice is particularly boring, I'm dreadfully sorry. Please can you let me know? And also, if I can do something to make classes easier on this format, please also let me know. Because everything looks great, and then someone has a problem, but if you don't speak up, then I can't do anything about it. Okay. And if you don't want to speak up on the live chat or on the WhatsApp group, then just, send me a private message and I will try and accommodate you guys. So that's pretty much it, hey, for today. I mean, next week we'll be doing target market segmentation. And, oh, hello. There you are. The cat in the box. That's so cute. That's when we start getting into the meat of it. Target market segmentation is really the crux of media planning. Without proper target market segmentation, you can't develop an effective media strategy because everything that you're building your plan on is incorrect. So, yeah, from next week it'll start getting more complex, and we'll start getting more into the meat of it. And the live stream will probably be a bit longer. But for now, I think that we're done. Does anyone have any questions? I know that we've got a couple of people watching, which is great. I don't think that everyone has logged on, and I don't know how many people we've got in our classes in total. So I'm not sure whether we're at capacity or whether we are just ticking along. But you guys need to first of all get onto the WhatsApp group. Send me a message. You've got my number. Send me a message and I will put your and make sure that you tell me which campus you're on, and I'll put your links out there to the different groups. Otherwise, if no one has any questions and no one has any comments, then I think, we're pretty much done. Just, one more thing. You are going to be able to access this video at any time. So don't stress if you miss the lecture. You can still, access it. If you go to my channel, hold on. I'm not going to put a photo up here of myself. Sorry, guys, but really, I don't really want to... Oh, crap. Hold on. Did I just do that? No. There. I'm here again. Sorry. There we go. Okay. Sorry, guys. That was close. Okay. Don't worry about that. But anyway, I will... I'll be in touch. And thank you very much for tuning in to this very strange and weird episode of Christa Lectures Media Planning. I'm hoping that I'll get better at this as time progresses. I'm fairly certain that you guys are also hoping that I'll get better at this as time progresses. So, good luck, stay safe, and I will see you next week. Take care, guys.